think in this way it's not so dogmatical thinking. It's more, what also be flexible in the leading from the group. And right now, I think I find a good mix.
So, first game, we talked a little bit about this in the week. It's not going to be perfect because there's still players learning bits and pieces. Are there certain key things that you really want to see your team try and do well?
Yeah, of course, that we have in the end a very compact situation, and this means in on-ball moments, but also when we without the ball. So when we go in pressing moments, that we are on the same page, and also that we have, of course, a high intensity in our on-ball moments. Also that we, I think, always a little bit quicker like the opponent. In all directions, we should be very fluid, very clear what we do, and this is something what I like from the boys. When we are outside on the pitch and we take a decision, we do it with 100% conviction and not so half pregnant. This is something what I don't like. So I need boys that are super convinced in this way what they go, and when they realize the action or they realize a mistake sometimes, then it's always so what's going on after the mistake. So, and this is so that we are always with the right body language, always with a mindset like a winner on the field. This is something where I want to see from the first step.
So your first game is where the last season ended. You obviously weren't at the club, but a lot of the players were. Have you talked at all about any frustrations they might feel about the way that finished against the opponents you've got on Saturday?
Yeah, we had a little bit conversations in this way, but this was in my first time when I took over the team. Right now, it's so much more thinking in the here and now and in the future. I think they realized, so we have a different style of play. Also, we have some new players inside. I think it's not the time to moan about what was in the past. So it's much better to think what can we do on Saturday, and this is of course my big focus. Yeah.
And just finally, I think there's a real sense of excitement amongst fans. There usually is ahead of the start of the season, especially after what happened last season. How are you before the start of a campaign? Do you get those same sort of butterflies and nerves and excitement?
I would say a big excitement. I cannot feel butterflies. I think a big excitement and much fun to see the boys in a real competition. And also, of course, we know we play. I think Sheffield is one of the teams. They have the pressure to promote, so we know the budget what they have. I think the whole frame in Sheffield looks like a Premier League a team, and we know that. On the same time, we have respect, but we will do everything that we can beat them. And in this direction, I will see my boys with a real good mindset, with a mindset of a winner, with a conviction in our principles. Yeah, and then I think this is so a kickoff that we know, of course, after the game a little bit more how we are in this time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gerhard, just on the injury front, with Joe Williams and Max Bird, are they going to be able to take part of this still a little bit away?
No, they are not involved in the roster. This came a little bit too early. This game looks like different when we go on Tuesday in our Carabao game. I think maybe Birdie could take some minutes on Tuesday. This looks good.
Would Tuesday probably be a bit too early for Joe? Still,
yes, I think so. Yeah, Joey maybe, Charlton. We will see. Yeah.
With obviously they've been injured for quite a lot of the period since you took charge. How much have you been able to work with them and pass on, I guess, your methods and how you want the team to play when they've not necessarily been able to train consistently?
Yeah, of course, this is a challenge. That in the end they have not so much trainings in the legs, but what they have nevertheless is many meetings with us together with the team, and they know. I think they have an understanding for that what we want. And in the end, it's always a football game. It's not a special one. It's more so how can they stay on the field, can go a high intensity, and on the same time they don't drop out with a new injury. So in this direction, we have to find a good load plan for the next few weeks with them, a clear individual periodization for them. But right now, I have a good feeling that they can step very early back in the team.
On a few of the longer term ones, I'm not expecting time frames, but how are the likes of Max O'Leary, Cam Pring?
Yeah, I think they are a little bit out of my timeline. Yeah, so of course they need a longer time, but I would say with both players they make good steps in the recovery program, and of course we know these are key players. Yeah, so and also I realized the time with Cameron Pring together in Portugal, and I know how important he can be in his action and for the team, also with his attitude in more directions. A very interesting player. So yeah, it is what it is, yeah, and we have to do the best with both players in the end that they come quick back. But at the moment, I think they have different topics like our games.
We've spoken a lot about how the group have adapted to your style of football and how they've progressed. Is there anything that you feel you've developed in these few months, particularly since you've arrived at Bristol City anywhere? Anything you've learned that you maybe didn't expect?
Yes, of course. It's of course also a little bit a culture topic. Also, how we create a periodization is not the same like in Germany or in Austria. Yeah? So with off days, with on which days we create the highest load. So this is a little bit different, but it's absolutely fine. And also, I would say I like when players are very clear in his opinion, and I have with Jason Knight, a captain. He's I think very clear also what he expects, also what he wants, and in this direction I think it's good to see. I have next to me and my coaching team, I have players. They take responsibility, and this is good to see.
Because I know you mentioned him on the radio the other day as well, how helpful has he been? Because every player we speak to speaks so highly of him as a leader, Jason. How helpful has he been in your first few months at the football club?
A very, very important player on the field, but also off the field. And I think we had some good conversations, especially with so many new things for the players. It's always important you have someone in the group. He can give me a little bit the mirror, yeah, what's going on in the group, how is the content, yeah, so is the doses maybe too much, or we can do a little bit more. So in all this direction, he's, I would say, a very important player in the dressing room for me, that I find always the right doses for the team.
Someone else I wanted to touch on was Rob Atkinson, because the last few weeks have been the first times Bristol City fans have seen him in action for what feels like a really long time. How impressed have you been with him, and what do you think he can bring to that back line?
Very impressed. I'm very, very impressed about him, and a little bit surprised that he is in the end, of course, a monster in aerial duels. Yeah. So he win, of course, I think in the last few friendly games, every duel. So it's crazy, so reliable. And also, I think he's a player. He's also, I think, when we play behind the last line, he can be a player with a very good touch, with a very good feeling to play these balls behind. So yeah, he's someone. He can be a big key for us in the next few months.
Is it the way you want to play with quite pace to everything you do? Is it just as important how much the defenders do on the ball as it is off of it in a Gerhard Struber team, as you say?
Yeah, I think in both directions we need, of course, they have to understand the main topics. Defender is a defender, so he should understand, of course, the 1-1 situations in defending moments. And of course, we have enough good players, they can do it on a very good way. On the same time, in my game, I have always centre backs. They are involved in our offensive moments, and this is not only a long ball. This is also that we have a flexibility in our build-up style, and also in this way we have very interesting players.
I know you only got asked that the other day, but transfer-wise, has anything changed in terms of ins and outs heading into the weekend from your point of view?
No, not that I know. But what I say, we have the ears and eyes open, and the market is interesting. The market, I would say, is right now also with a good dynamic, and we will see what's going on in the next few days or few weeks. So we are ready for more, and we hope we can realize the one or other new player.
Would competitive games perhaps help you identify exactly what it is you need? Because obviously you've got to look at your squad in friendlies, but in a genuine competitive environment might shine a light on what you need to add.
Yeah, I think I have at the moment, I would say on every position players, they can realize that what I want. Yeah, so, but we know that the season is long. It's a season like from the feeling is never ending. Yeah, and you have to find a roster. He is, of course, ready for all the games, and also Carabao Cup, FA Cup. So we want to not jump out in the first round. So this means also we have more and more games, and in this direction we need, of course, also a big roster. We need, of course, also some different players in the roster, and then I think then we are ready. Yeah, so we are on a good way, but the one or other new player, I would say, would not be a problem for me.
You've mentioned that big roster, big squad. You've been able to name quite a big bench in all these pre-season games and make a lot of changes. Is it a nice problem to have, whittling that down to a starting 11 and 9 subs for the weekend?
Yeah, I think this is my job, that I have in the end always hopefully enough players that I can have a good choice, and I select in the end the right players for the starting 11. Yeah, but of course, and this is not only that I say this so easy cheesy, so we need the whole roster over the whole championship time. We have so many games, and we need every single player. And this is the young one. He comes from the academy, like until Emil Rees. He is like the new player. We need every single one in this roster to be ready, to be focused, to be physical-wise on a really good level, and be hungry to realize with the team together the success what we want.
You had a taste of playing in front of the City fans. Obviously in the friendlies, going to be a bit different Saturday. How excited are you to have your first proper outing in front of them? Yeah,
I'm very excited about that, to come in touch in a competitive game with the fans. Of course, I can see many friendly faces, many smiling faces. I can also feel, of course, the expectation is high, especially about the last season. So we want to do the best in the next time with this group of players. We want